Let me begin by welcoming you all to Live with Chatufa. I'm so excited once again for us meeting on this show, on this platform. Thank you so much for those that stand with the platform, that support this platform, the platform that gives you the updates of what is happening in the nation, around our neighboring countries, as well as all over the world. We want to continue to thank the Lord that we are seeing the great strides as we are going towards the great news of the great new Zimbabwe, a Zimbabwe that we all anticipate. As we are looking at what is happening in the country, ZANU-PF becoming more and more destabilized and more weak and in a panic mode, we are seeing Emmerson Mnangagwa hiding from economic collapse behind the Sadc Chairmanship. You see, we have always heard Mnangagwa talk in gatherings, different gatherings, especially after events like what has just happened to the ZIG. The ZIG has just collapsed, and you don't even hear Mnangagwa talking about these issues. You know, these are issues that are expected to be said by a president, where he stands before the people, or he addresses the nation in one way or the other on different platforms, to begin to talk about the problems that the nation is facing, the challenges the nation is facing. We've always known Robert Mugabe to be addressing issues, especially at gatherings. He would touch issues at times that are even not related to the gathering, as long as it is an issue that is at a thorny issue or a hot issue during that very time. But we have never seen that with Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa would rather talk about what he did when he grew up, and whatever you would want to talk about, funny things, and yet he leaves aside issues that are really very, very important to us at a time. So that on its own is a problem that we continue to experience with the ZANU-PF. Right. So right now, Mnangagwa has been addressing people after the collapse of the ZIG, but you don't hear him talking about that. Instead, you can hear him rather talking about the Sadc chairmanship and blah, blah, just to divert the attention of the people from the real issues that are affecting the country. And this is a big problem, because we want to continue to be believing that a government must be responsible, must look at the issues affecting the country and see how best they can come up with the ways and means to curb these problems. But it seems Emmerson Mnangagwa does not have a solution. It seems this government is just a clueless government that has nothing to do with the problems that are affecting Zimbabwean people on a day-to-day basis. And even the propaganda machinery, you hear them celebrating so much of nothing, much ado about nothing is being celebrated on ZANU-PF propaganda media and the like. You see now Nick Mangwana coming out and, clapping hands and celebrating, ululating and twerking for things that are not even, very, very important to the country that Mnangagwa wants to talk about. I don't know till when Mnangagwa would want to be telling Zimbabweans about the chairmanship of Sadc, instead of hearing, allowing Zimbabweans to hear what is his plan now that the economy is gone on a nosedive and it is just not working at all. So I just want us to listen to what Mnangagwa was saying as he's addressing the people, without even mentioning the issue of the ZIG. And Nick Mangwana is good at that. Chairman we Sadc is Zimbabwe. Asi Mnangagwa paunenge uchifamba unotori chairman we Sadc, wakadhakwa usina kudhakwa uri chairman we Sadc, President Mnangagwa. And is that news? Really, is that news? Are those the most Are those the most important issues really in the country? They are not. We need to hear Mnangagwa addressing issues that are affecting Zimbabwean people, day-to-day issues, bread and butter issues. But he runs away, he hides behind other issues and other subjects that are not even important. Just listen to him speaking.
Chairman we Sadc is Zimbabwe, as Mnangagwa. Saka paunenge uchifamba uri chairman we Sadc. Wakadhakwa usina kudhakwa uri chairman we Sadc.
Just listen to this. I don't know what is this really. And if, I'm pained, especially by the people that celebrate nonsense. You know, people of Zimbabwe, we have gotten so low to the point that we celebrate mediocrity, where mediocrity is supposed to be shunned and thrown to the dustbin. But it seems our people, we are so blinkered to the point that just because something has been said by Mnangagwa, everyone will have to clap and twerk and make noise about it. You know, we don't hear politicians being booed in Zimbabwe. You see, politicians are booed in their countries when they address the masses and gatherings, and whatever that they say is not helpful or is not or masses are not in agreement with it. We see many times people in leadership being booed, and it's part of democracy. I still remember when Jacob Zuma was booed at one point, and then after that he was speaking to journalists, and journalists were asking him about that issue, about his booing, and he said there is nothing wrong with that. Me being booed as a leader is part of democracy, and people mustn't be worried that they are being booed, because it's expression. It's people's expression. That's how people express their dissatisfaction, dislike, or whatever that they feel about the subject at hand. So you are saying we must learn that that is part of democracy, and as leaders and politicians, we must also embrace being booed, because it's a right for people to express themselves, which was something that was very, very mature. And I'm sure when he was interviewed by the journalists, they expected him to backlash, and start to criticize the people and say that's disrespect or what. But instead, he supported what was done to him. That's what we call leadership. That's what we call leadership. But this, we don't experience this in Zimbabwe. I'm telling you, if it happens that Mnangagwa is booed at a rally or whatever it is, there's going to be bloodshed in Zimbabwe. People will be hunted down, and people. You still remember the women who booed Auxilia Mnangagwa? I think it was in Gweru, if I'm right. And those women were followed and they were arrested. And it's very, very, cumbersome to arrest people in a crowd, and then you want to say these are the people that booed. You might find yourself arresting the wrong people, or even arresting those that are not even part of that, because when it happens in the crowd, it's very difficult for you to be able to locate who exactly has done it. And after all, why should people be looked after, be hunted for anyway? Because it is their right to express themselves. Anyone who comes into leadership must be ready to be criticized, must be ready also to have some negative comments that are coming from the people that they lead. It's part of leadership, and tolerance in our leadership is what also we must continue to expect. So this is what it is, family. People like Emerson Mnangagwa would kill people if that happens. So they continue to hide behind this Sadc chairmanship, and hiding behind this, not wanting to talk about the most important issues that are affecting our country. But we are still standing and fighting to make sure that we free our country, we free Zimbabwe from anything else that Zimbabwean people are going through. The pains and the sufferings must go and must be a thing of the past. Thank you so much, family, for joining me on the show. Let's continue to meet in the upcoming shows. Remain blessed, and always support your platform by subscribing, liking, and sharing, and also putting a comment and telling us what you think. I want to thank you. I sign out for now.